Has Keir Starmer lost his mind? It certainly looks that way following the Daily Mirror's exclusive interview. Now, over the previous week, we've of course talked about the internal civil war that's happening today in the Labour Party. And I've never seen a party truly so disjointed since the Tories. And it certainly appears like every day that there is a new MP coming forth and looking to depose Starmer from his job. Now, despite the tables being turned against him, the Prime Minister has come out in an interview and still reaffirmed his position, his goal for the future, and really made one of the most ridiculous claims that I have heard from him in a long time. As always, guys, we are going to be breaking this down and, of course, going through the reaction. There's a lot of video footage to watch, but before, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So first things first, here is the headlines that you're waking up to this morning. Starmer, I will lead Labour into the next general election. Keir Starmer has declared he will reject the apparent will of his own supporters and lead Labour into the next general election. A YouGov poll for The Times reveals just a third of people who backed the party last year want the Prime Minister to lead into the next national contest, which is expected in 2029 at the latest. And some 23% of those voters think he should quit now. Keir's ratings have plummeted since entering Downing Street, and Labour consistently trail Reform in the polls. His Chancellor, of course, is going to deliver a disaster budget at the end of November, and the aftermath of the budget and next year's elections, which include Labour strongholds of London and Wales, have both been suggested as the time for prospective leadership challenge. But speaking to the Daily Mirror, the Prime Minister has attempted to silence the worries about his position. Asked if he will lead Labour into the next general election, Keir responded, "Yes, I will." Keir also claimed dealing with the cost of living is his top goal and making people feel better off. He said he wanted to offer the kids a treat, go out for a dinner, have a holiday, get on the progress, and feel safe and secure, and promise that the budget will have Labour values straight through it. So despite all of this, and despite the sort of internal fightings happening in the Labour Party, we've of course heard about West Streeting, more recently now Angela Rayner, Labour MPs literally turning against him. I mean, you just watched the sort of a Reform statement yesterday. Labour MPs, I think 16 at the time of recording, reject it. There is a major internal fighting at this moment in time, and Starmer still believes that he's going to be the leader. Has he lost his mind? Everything is turning against him. Well, political commentators and former Tory MPs will feel that is surely the case. As you can see, this is the headlines this morning with reference to Keir Starmer. And let's have a watch this video. Tooting his own trumpet. Maybe because Shioma's been in all the papers, and actually now he needs to try. He's tried stride and failed to stump on West last week. He's anxious about the Home Secretary. It will be, John Healey next week talking about something defense. The Star team certainly are very worried about what's going on. And even if you look at what he's saying, talking about athletes on breakfast clubs, that's already happened. None of this is new stuff anyway. And in my tenure as a Tory MP, the amount of Tory Prime Ministers I've who said, I'll lead our party into the next election. 3 weeks later, they're all gone anyway, aren't they? I suppose the only person who actually led the Tory party to election who said they would is Rishi Sunak, and we all wish he hadn't. So this isn't good news for Labour. Yeah, Benjamin. Do you honestly think that circuit star is going to dominate the next election? Because the front of the Times, nearly half of all Labour voters want Starmer out by next election. But then another poll found nearly half of Labour voters wouldn't vote Labour. I don't know how indicative that is, but look, obviously the word in Westminster is that Labour MPs are extremely frustrated. I don't think they're quite the point of organizing to get rid of Starmer, but the budget on the 26th of November will be a big point, an inflection point of whether that happens. But there is also a sense that they have to do so much unpopular stuff in terms of taxes and spending cuts that actually they'd quite like Starmer and Rachel Reeves to do that, because it means that if a replacement Labour leadership came in, they wouldn't be, held down by that unpopularity. So I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think May of next year, the municipal elections, is the point where it might alter. I might just point out if I were a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were a betting man, I would bet that Keir Starmer and Kemi Batenog will not be in their post this time next year. Yeah, there's the deposit. That's a reasonable bet. I think if we look at the mirror, there you go. Sir Starmer, wearing Lord Ali's suit, definitely with the same, and glasses, probably with the same tie. I've seen him wear like at least 50 times. Talking about flipping breakfast clubs, It's simply pathetic, isn't it? This is I respect that he reuses the same tie. That shows that he's got financial discipline. Don't know what he's doing in labor. Oh, but sure, he's using the same tie. He's not like one of these women on the catwalk. No. I think there is and I think he's got a shot. He's very adept at maintaining discipline and control in labor. He's managed to do it for quite a long time so far, and seen off, various threats. And labor might be a lot of labor backers might be, worried about their seats. They might be worried about the direction of the party. But what would be better if Boris Johnson, if the debacle of the Tories taught us anything, it's that changing leaders frequently isn't a recipe for success at the ballot box. I don't see that last point now. I don't see a scenario in which brings the leads the Labour Party into the 2029 elections. I just don't see it. There's just too much currently going on. He's putting out fire after fire after fire, and there's almost like zero confidence inside the Labour Party. Look over the last 7 days. We've heard stuff with streeting Angela Rayner. We've also had Labour MPs coming out publicly now saying that he has to be replaced, and especially after this sort of asylum reform, the super liberal MPs. I didn't understand exactly how liberal some of these Labour MPs actually were. They're surely going to be turning against him and Shabana Mahmood and the whole type of government. I don't see this working out any way for him. But I do think he'll be used as a scapegoat for the autumn budget, which is coming up later this month. So watch this space, but also those local elections as well. And they'll be looking to evict them at that moment. They're just trying to get their sort of ducks in order, so to speak, as they try and get rid of them. But on the other end, of course, I do think he sent Shabana Mahmood out there the other day to sort of try and save face in terms of send a different message from the Labour Party and take a different route, because he just can't win with the super ultra left-wing liberals as the Green Party being the most outlandish out of them. But then is also like looking to try and claw back some voters, I suppose, from Reform and the Tories and seeing what they can accomplish there. Certainly it's panic stations, but I actually do think he's lost his mind, that he thinks that he's going to be taking this country or taking the Labour Party into the 2029 elections. I'm keen to know your thoughts. Of course, it's on the main pages this morning, Stana's statement with regard to this, but what do you think? Is he deluded, or do you think he truly believes himself that he is going to be the leader of the Labour Party for the next few years? Let me know in the comments.